Hello everybody, my name is Monk. I'm a rank 1 Mistweaver, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing some of my own gameplay and explaining my reasoning behind why I did stuff. So I'm just going to jump in the video really fast. We're going to start on round 2. We're in a solo shuffle, Sub-Rogue, Unholy DK, SP, Hunter. Now this is just, pretty random solo shuffle. I think it's a decent Mistweaver lobby. I end up going 5-1, so like pretty good Mistweaver lobby. But yeah, let's just get right into the game. We're fighting a Sub-Rogue. Now, the PvP talents that I like to run into Sub-Rogue, I don't usually play Eminent. And I'm not playing it here. I'm playing Zen Focus T. And I think Zen Focus T is going to be played 100% of the time now instead of Eminence. I think Eminence is not worth to be played anymore. And that's because Zen Focus T will allow you to immune your Crackle Jade Lightning any kicks with the new rework that happened on today. So yeah, on this map, what I like to do in the opener is I like to drop my port like sort of on the edge in this room, and then which I do right there, and then drop my statue kind of in the middle of the map. And then I also put my Zen Sphere on the target that I think they're going to go, and I get all of this off before the rogue comes to me. So I drop my port, put my statue in the middle of the map, and put a Zen Sphere on whoever I think that they're going to try to kill. So anyways, I get sapped, cheap shot onto the SP. My Hunter opens with a scatter. So this opener, it shouldn't be that scary for us. I pop my Thunder Focus T. I put up an Enveloping Mist, and then I do a Crackle just to top him off. The DK is popping every CD here, so I pop my second charge of Thunder Focus T. They're popping a lot of damage, and here the Sub-Rogue almost dies instantly. So right here, I go for a Crackle, and my team has forced pretty much everything in the open. So now, unfortunately, my Priest and my Hunter both trinketed to try and kill there. I see that. I see that the Rogue cloaked. We're all off of DR. And as soon as the Rogue cloaks, he starts running towards me. And as soon as I see that, I toss up a Cocoon. As soon as he runs towards me, and also when my Priest gets kicked, and I'm able to pre-Cocoon the blind here, which I think is a really good play. Otherwise, we probably would have had to trade out like Disperse or something on this setup. But right here, we force this cloak, and immediately after we force this cloak, I'm like, okay, we need to worry about this next go. We got all of the cooldowns that we needed. He's not going to die through cloak. We can't kill him. So I duck back into the room. I get my pre-enveloping mists out right here, and then I look at what the rogue's doing, and as soon as he runs towards me, I'm like, okay, this guy's either going to step kidney me, he's going to blind me, something's going to happen, he's going to CC me, he's going into the next go right here. The DK still has Unholy Assault for like 6 more seconds. They're cranking. My Shadow Priest is in a kick, and I'm able to pre-cocoon the blind, using those obvious cues. Now here, what my Hunter could have also done, but he didn't do, is he could have noticed that I pre-cocooned this go on the SP who they were intending to go, and be like, oh, my Shadow Priest cocooned. I could use one of my wall charges here, because they're definitely going to swap me, because I'm also off DR, and I have no trinket too. So here, he does do that wall. He actually did it a little late, but it ended up happening. And I roll in here, and I'm trying to get his duel. And as soon as I get his duel, when I roll in, I revival, and it really sucks that they nerfed revival to a 2-minute and 30-second cooldown. That because look right here, I'm about to run in and pop my 2-minute and 30-second cooldown. He bombs, I roll into the bomb, he duels, and then boom. Ready for it, guys? Ready for it? 2-minute, 30-second cooldown. Boom. He went up like maybe 5 to 10%. But either way, it immunes magic damage. It helps with like secret tech, some shadow damage that the rogue does. And it kept him alive here. Here I pop my Thunder Focus T, get an Enveloping Mist up just so he takes 65% more healing. And then I pop a Crackle to top him off. Now that was sketchy. I really would have ideally had my revival heal for a little more. But we ended up letting that go. And now he has no bomb and duel for my DPS that have no trinket. So yeah, really, really sketchy here. Here he kidneys me. They don't really have a go here. I don't know why he kidneyed me. They're just kind of doing damage here. I pop my Manatee here. It's always good to keep your Manatee, um, you know, under control. Make sure that you're popping it. Otherwise, you can actually in some scenarios. So I pop my Manatee here, and as soon as I pop my Manatee, I'm also spamming my Yulon. Usually Manatee and Yulon as a Mistweaver, they pair well together, because usually Yulon, it's your Celestial, it's a big spender, it costs like I think like 150,000 mana, something like that. When you Manatee, you can reduce the cost of that big spender right there. So that's what I choose to do right there. So yep, Manatee into Yulon. I get that little Chi Cocoon, which is a little shield. It's also nice because you can sometimes pre this as a little shield against sub rogues. It's pretty piss, but it's better than nothing. And as soon as I do that, I pop my Thunder Focus Tea. And right here, guess what my next global? I'm gonna Enveloping Mist the Shadow Priest, and I'm gonna go for a Crackling Jade Lightning to top my whole team. Right there, Enveloping Mist, and then Crackle. I do it on the Rogue here because I see that my Shadow Priest gets a double fear right here, and the Rogue is 30%. So I decide, oh, I should really go for the Rogue. And I spend a little second looking for him. I find him. I get that Crackle on him. I get that extra like million damage that my Crackle does there, and that was actually really huge. To just parse that extra damage here. My Shadow Priest tries to grip me. Which was a good idea, but unfortunately the fear still goes off. But as soon as I get gripped, I notice that the Rogue comes off DR, the DK's off DR, and my Shadow Priest is like 30%. So, this is a little bit of an unfortunate situation, but since they're both stacked and I'm here, I can press Leg Sweep, and I double Leg Sweep, and we actually end up almost killing the Rogue here. This was a defensive and offensive Leg Sweep because it allows my SP to free cast. It allows me to free cast when they're in a stun too. And since the Rogue's 30%, he can also die in that stun. That was a really high value Leg Sweep right there. If he didn't grip me, I probably would have Chi Torpedoed in for that Leg Sweep. But yeah, great Leg Sweep there. Then I pop my Thunder Focus Tea, I get both of my Enveloping Mists out, and then I go for a Crackle. And as you can see, that's going to top the team off right here. It's very important that as soon as you pop your Thunder Focus Tea, in most scenarios, to go for that Enveloping Mist for the 40% modifier on your kill target. Otherwise, your Crackle isn't going to heal for, basically, it's going to heal for half as much, because that modifier is a 40% from Enveloping Mist, and then you also get an extra modifier when you're renewing Mist procs from Rapid Diffusion, and then works with your works with the other talent that whenever renewing mist is applied, it also, for the first 8 seconds, you get a 25% healing increase. You're going to get both of those healing increased when you use that Enveloping Mist as soon as you pop your Thunder Focus Tea, which allows me to top my team in one Crackle, through whatever dampening it is. Like sometimes I'll have games at 60% damp. I'll pop my Thunder Focus Tea. I'll do my Enveloping Mists on both of the people. I'll go for an AoE Crackle, and it just tops my whole team in like 60% damp. So it's really good to make sure you're getting all of that healing out. And you notice that ideally you do want to send your Crackles onto the target that your team is killing. So if you speed back through like part of this game, you'll notice that all of my Crackles have been mostly on the Rogue, and that's because we're trying to kill the Rogue. The kill target this game has been the Rogue. So in your games, if you see like your team is like focusing this guy really hard, if possible, you should send your Crackling Jade Lightning into that player, because your Crackle, it's 250k tick, like 4 or 5 ticks, that's a million damage. That's like a seventh of their health. You're helping, you're contributing, doing some damage. So yeah, right there, as you can see, my Shadow Priest got a Siphoned up, and this game's just over. I was gonna roll in for like an incap or something, a Touch of Death as well, but he just dies before I have a chance that. So next comp, we're playing with the Sub Rogue. Now playing with the Sub Rogue, it's gonna be a little bit different. You're mainly just gonna be focused on healing a lot and assisting with like a potential like incap on the priest off of a kidney or something. So yeah, right here again, fast forward to the opener. Oops, can't skip that far, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to wait seconds here. I'm gonna drop my port like in kind of like the dip right there, drop it, and then I also have my statue down, and I have my orb on who I think they're gonna be killing, which in this game is gonna be the Shadow Priest. So right here, I get my Yulon up first global. It's a pretty nice first global to get because you know, it's not really a heal. You pop it, and it gives like a 500k shield to, like, start you off with that opening dam, and then it also gives you 50% off on your next enveloping mist, which you can see I do right there with my Thunder Focus Tea. So yeah, unfortunately my rogue eats the trap for me, and the reason I say unfortunately is because I'm playing Diamond Ice, which means that that trap is undispellable. So yeah, anyways, I do a big AoE crackle here. I'm sort of just getting ahead on the damage, since this comp, like, they have a lot of burst. You know, 20 seconds of Unholy Assault, and then he's in there, he's popping all of his damage as well. I want to make sure that I can, you know, counter that damage, which is why I ran in, I Yulon for the Chi Cocoon Shield, and I instantly go into Thunder Focus Tea whenever I see Unholy. Right here, I'm able to top him. However, he is taking a lot of damage, so I pop my second charge of Thunder Focus Tea, and since I already have my Enveloping Mist modifier, and we are taking a lot of damage, in this scenario, I'm just instantly going to pop my second one and go into a Crackle, since I have this modifier up already. And I do that right here, and I'm still cranking out a lot of heals. I have my 2 stacks of Thunder Focus Tea, and I'm going to use that on Enveloping Mists, just to get my Enveloping Mists up, and then I toss a Vivify up, and push in for an Incap on healer. Now here, you know, maybe that Incap was a little bit overzealous of me. I probably shouldn't have done that, because then me and the rogue overlapped CDs. But yeah, I traded out Cocoon here. You know, this opener hurts a lot, and instantly right here, you can see the power of this of Crackle. You know, I have a Thunder Focus Tea in 5 seconds, 4 seconds, and I'm sort of just like trying to survive to that without committing too much killing. And as you can see, one, I'm just lining, I'm trying to avoid damage, and as soon as I have that Thunder Focus Tea back, I pop it, I go into line, and I zap these pets, and it tops me instantly. I don't even need that Enveloping Mist. And you know, I wouldn't even want to put one up on myself, because I can get away pretty easily. You know, who I'm really worried about is my Shadow Priest, who can't get away with just like roll porting to the pillar. Right here, I'm making sure that I'm getting my Enveloping Mists up. My team's taking a lot of damage, so the way I can handle that is just constantly having Enveloping Mists up, is making sure that, oh, well, the kill target always has an Enveloping Mist, so that, you know, before I get CC'd or anything, you know, we can do stuff. So now here, I see that my my priest gets a fear, and we're going the hunter. And right here, PS falls, he walls, and my rogue gouges. And I also had the same idea that was like, hey, I'm going to incap out of this fear. So luckily, the gouge breaks, so my incap lands perfectly with the break of the gouge, and instantly I'm spamming my DR Panda, and then I also leg sweep on top. Since he's on triple DR for leg sweep, I just sent the leg sweep as well, since this guy's 6% health. And then with that time that I bought just spamming my incaps on him, my rogue was able to shadowy duel, and this this hunter is still not taking any healing. So we go out of the shadowy duel. He gets a shield up, and right here, this silence. And I know this priest, you can see this priest, he's trying to walk back into the room. And now the hunter is not on the same page with him. He's not trying to kite back to room. He's just trying to kite away from the rogue. And now this is bad kiting by this hunter. This hunter shouldn't have done this. Hunter should have gone back with the priest into room. But what I can do to take advantage of this is I can Ring of Peace that priest into the room, out of line of sight of the hunter. I pop my Thunder Focus Tea, and this guy's 15%. I'm just trying to do as much damage as I can. Now my rogue, he drops a smoke bomb on the priest. The priest is like wound poison or crippling poisoned in it, so he can't move. And I go for a crackle here, and he's not able to get out of the bomb in time before his hunter died. And that was, you know, a great example of really playing defense the whole game. You know, if you look at the healing meter, I did 1.5 million HPS. You know, at one point that HPS meter was at 2 million, and that's just me getting great value out of my Thunder Focus Tea, making sure that I'm popping that off cooldown, getting my enveloping mists up, but before I press my Crackle to get the healing modifiers for the big heals. And then in that moment where I see that full fear and the hunter is like 20%, you know, adding my my extra CC into him and getting a really nice Ring of Peace at the end there, which 100% helped us win the game. You know, like that was a great play. I actually I love what I did there. So yeah. Anyways, last game we're gonna go over real quick is going to be Hunter Rogue. Now, Hunter Rogue, if you guys don't know, hunters are actually not exactly Mistweaver's favorite thing to see. They generally do pretty good into them because it's kind of hard for a Mistweaver to heal a hunter. And when you have a hunter on your team as a Mistweaver, you can't really press your in-cap because you share trap DR. So it's a little bit of a difficult match. I think we do have a great matchup here. They're playing Double Priest and they have a DK. You know, Hunter shred DKs, and Double Priest isn't exactly most ideal comp that you're going to want to see. So right here, you're going to see in the opener, I instantly drop my port on the pillar, set my statue down, and now here that I'm playing with a rogue, it's actually pretty situational because sometimes what they can do is they can get combat off of your statue. So I noticed this right now, and I realize, oh, I'm an idiot. We have 2 stealths here. I'm gonna dispel my statue so that they can't get combat off of it. And you know, here I should have waited to drop my statue, absolutely, because you know if the Shadow Priest gets a hit on it, or if the Disc Priest gets a Purge the Wicked, he can't get sapped. So I cancel the statue. We're able to get a sap here, which I'm really thankful about. And I roll in off of that sap. I notice that my rogue is too busy cheap shotting the Shadow Priest, and I get a leg sweep off of the sap. Unfortunately, that doesn't go too well for me. I get silenced into a fear. But the rogue does blind the healer, and we get a trinket. So you know that CC chain, it wasn't all for nothing. Fortunately, my rogue has to cloak evasion here, which really sucks. But as you can see right here, they popped a lot of damage. And I was able to, right here, after this, you can see I'm spamming Thunder Focus Tea. I get it off right here. I noticed that my rogue is in Cloak and Evasion. He's not going to be the one that they're going. But the hunter who hasn't pressed a single cooldown yet, that's going to be who they're trying to kill. So I Thunder Focus Tea. I get an Enveloping Mist up on my hunter, and then I instantly zap, and I top him here. You know, big heals. Top him off. And then I also did pop both of them at the same time on accident, so I noticed this, and I used my second charge of Crackle to on the rogue even. So yeah, really unfortunate opener. I think that they did catch me out of position a little bit there, but we were able to recover with Crackle. So now my rogue bombs. He gets IBF from the DK. You know, they're training down my rogue who has no cloak and evasion. You know, this makes sense as opposed to the hunter who has 2 walls. So I know that my rogue's going to be the kill target here because he has less cooldowns, and he's also pretty squishy as a rogue too. So right here, you can see I pop an Enveloping Mist onto my rogue, keep him topped off, and to make sure that he has that healing modifier on him, I refresh my Zen Sphere as well, since I have him kind of hovering at 100% right here. Using my instant cast Vivifies and applying those Enveloping Mists, but I know that I just need to keep my modifiers going on him. Right here, I get kicked by the DK. My Thunder Focus Tea comes off CD, so you can see I instantly pop my Thunder Focus Tea. And I get a pre-Enveloping Mist. Right here, I have all 3 of my modifiers onto the rogue here, and I'm ready to do a big Crackle to top him. So out of this, you can see right here, my Enveloping Mist unfortunately fell, but I still go for the Crackle. It tops him, and I use my last stack of my Thunder Focus Tea to get my Enveloping Mist out. Generally, the most valuable Thunder Focus Tea one is Enveloping Mist because it comes with a big heal, and it also gives you your 40% increase modifier. So when you press Thunder Focus Tea, you want to get those Enveloping Mists out for every single time before you press like a So right here, we get blinded. I instantly go and I pop my my Yulon. Get kicked by the DK here. It's very unfortunate. You can see it right here. I have Thunder Focus TN2. Trying to survive into that. I do trade out Cocoon. We do have a little bit of an overlap here. In hindsight, it's probably a better idea to let the rogue vanish because sub-rogues, they get cooldown reduction from pressing like their vanish. So in that scenario, I can see like don't do what I did here. But in this scenario, you can see, oh, the rogue has vanish here. He's gonna want to reset his cooldowns here with that vanish. So I probably shouldn't go and press Cocoon when he's gonna vanish. So yeah, that's an unfortunate overlap. Usually, when you're playing with sub-rogues, this is what I try to do, is I try to let them vanish first before I use my cooldowns on them. You know, it's good in most scenarios because this guy can get his cooldown reduction to get his dance back, you know, keep the goes going. But unfortunately, I overlap Cocoon here. That was a bad play, in my opinion. I wouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. But anyways, we get the go, and here's what I'm talking about. Is we get this kidney shot, and I see right here that my hunter, he's not going to get there for the trap in time. So what you can do when you're with a sub rogue is a lot of the times, very commonly, these rogues will just kidney the healer, and they don't really have any CC off. So a lot of the times, it's your job to just go in and send an in-cap out of a kidney shot, which is what I do right here. My hunter's not in time for the trap. I DR sweep in the hopes that my hunter is going to see the trap and go for a DR trap out of this. Unfortunately, he doesn't. We don't get a trap go there, which is really sad. But hey, it is what it is. We still forced dispersion from the SP, so it's all good. Now here we're taking a lot of damage, and I'm basically just trying to hold off until our next. I use revival here, is what it is. They go with me 2 silences, and now here it basically shows that Mistweavers can't really be killed. I pop my Thunder Focus T. I get both of my Enveloping Mists off, and instead of porting back to the pillar here, I just choose to use my Crackling Jade Lightning, and as you can see, I'm gonna get topped in that. Yeah, that just shows off, like, whenever you pop your Thunder Focus T, get that Enveloping Mist out, and you can just top in like 1 gold. Absolutely. Right there, I see my rogue gets in a fear, and instantly, whenever I see that, I want to enable my my rogue as much as possible. So as soon as I see that fear, next global, dispel, I dispel the fear, and my rogue can keep damage. And now here, since the Shadow Priest is the kill target for our team, and I have an extra global, you can see right there before I get hit with that blind. I don't even know. 2407 right there. I have an extra global. I choose to toss out an enemy orb onto the Shadow Priest, and this makes him take 10% more damage, and it also coincidentally is right when my rogue presses Cheap Shot and pops his dance. So I see Cheap Shot, I see dance, and I pop a enemy Zen Sphere on the Shadow Priest with no Disperse, who's most definitely going to be our kill target here. So here, get blinded by the DK. Little unfortunate, but we're still going him. I pop my Thunder Focus T, and then here, I go for my Crackling Jade Lightning, and I do this on the kill target here, which is the Shadow Priest, just to like maximize my damage. So I get a full crackle onto him. I roll in. I go for a DR in-cap out of that trap. My hunter also uses a silence arrow at the same time. It's good because right here you can see I in-cap, and then this is the root, and this root will go into a silence. So this in-cap just buys a little time for him to go into that silence. Like right very faintly up in the corner of the screen, he gets in that silence, and he's not able to heal. And now here's basically why Mistweavers are unkillable, and why you can, like, most of the time you can be a little carefree about your health. Because right here, they swap me, and I just poured out. I'm completely fine. They can't push in here. They're triple 20%. I just taught myself at the pillar with that port. I let my rogue cloak there. since he has it. If you're at lower CR, maybe just toss the cookie. But we get to go on the Shadow Priest, and he ends up dying. So yeah, that was a pretty clean 3 rounds right there. I would say. I think I highlighted some pretty general things. You know, when you play with hunters, try not to incap the healer, but if you do incap the healer, go for it off of their trap just so that you don't screw up the DR, or you can even incap teammates. In this case, I wasn't able to because there's a lot of cleave in this lobby with like A and the Shadow Priest, so it's really hard to get those incaps out in this lobby. But when you do go for those incaps, it's usually out of a CC chain to sort of like help aid the CC chain that your team has already sort of created. Then another thing that I'd like to bring up is basically the playstyle of this new Mistweaver is you're just trying to survive until this next Thunder Focus Tea. Since your Thunder Focus Tea does a lot of healing, it's, you know, the bulk of your healing, you're basically just like playing until this comes off cooldown, because as soon as that Thunder Focus Tea comes off cooldown, you know, you can even see it right here. You know, I randomly skipped right here. You can instantly press Thunder Focus Tea, pop that enveloping mist on the kill target, go for a zap, and then you get massive heals on right there. It wasn't Shadow Priest, but yeah, that's pretty much something that's really important. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, you know, as to why I did something. I think I explained myself pretty well. I always feel pretty bad about putting these videos out because I don't know, I find myself stumbling over my words a little bit. But you know, I hope this was some help. It was requested in my chat today, so I decided, you know, I'll review my own gameplay. Hopefully there's some stuff in here that you these games are also streamed live on. Everything's going to be in the description. All of the talents. Any questions, let me know. These games are really fast paced, so I tried my best. Peace out.